Hello and welcome, and thank you for visiting the Foodics accounting platform. Today in this tutorial, we are going to go over the deficit and surplus function within the platform. But before I just get into that, I'd just like to go over a few housekeeping reminders, and that is to navigate through this tutorial, I will be using this left margin, so please follow me where I'm moving with the mouse. And furthermore, there will be some screen changing, so please pay attention to where I'm going screen to screen. And furthermore, there will be some small sections of data that I have to analyze and complete. So in this regard, there will be some silence on my behalf. So please bear with me on that. Um, so what I'd like to do is give you a short overview of what this is all about today. So as I say, it is deficit and surplus. This is a method of adding a cash deficit which could be charged to the company or the employee, or adding a cash surplus to the accounting system. I've got a couple of cases that I'm going to demonstrate by way of example, so I'll just explain where I am with case one and I'll give you a little overview. And this is a deficit. This is an example. Case one is an example of when a deficit occurs when the actual cash in the cash register is less than the book balance. In this case, an accountant will be asked whether the deficit is charged to the company or to an employee to determine the most appropriate course of action. The deficit is then processed through as a spend money transaction. So what I'm going to do first for case one is give you an overview by way of an example of a deficit charge to the company. So this hypothetical situation will involve an actual value of 450 reals with a book value of 500 reals. Therefore, the deficit we are looking at here is 50 reals. The difference between 450 and 500 is 50. So in this case, the deficit is processed via a spend money transaction. So I'll take you through this now. So I'm in the margin here. I'm under accounts. I'm going to go bank accounts. And I will choose the cash account just for example. And on this page here we have various options, but I'm just looking at the new transaction tab here. And what I'm going to do is take this as a spend money transaction. So here we are on the spend money screen. This is correct. It will be a direct payment. I've just got a little bit of data to complete. So as I mentioned at the beginning, there will be a short period of silence. So please bear with me here. I'm going to modify the date actually. So what I'm doing here, just to break the silence, I've used a description which is quite clear. I've labelled it with the deficit of 50 reals clearly marked, unit price 50. I've chosen the 702 account, which is the adjustment account. Leave that. So what I can do, I can just go over this. So it's a direct payment, the adjust deficit surplus, hypothetical date here, reference number, tax exclusive. So it can be saved actually. There we go. Transaction successfully saved. I would like to now show an example of a deficit charged to an employee. Now, by way of example, what we're going to look at here, we've got an actual value of 75 reals with a book value of 100 reals. So the deficit amount will be 25, which is 75, 100, the difference is 25. So in this case, this is processed by creating a spend money transaction again. So I'm just going to flick back over to bank accounts just to take you through the system again. I'm going to choose the cash account again here. We're going to go new transaction and spend money again. This is correct, it is going as direct payment actually, so there's nothing to amend there. I just have some data to complete again, so just bear with me. It's an employee name, so I'll take a hypothetical, Mr. Ahmed Ali. I'm going to change the date. Again, I'm going to use the same date as previous, which is a hypothetical date. Reference. I'll use it as a shortage, which is what we're looking at here. So now just a little bit more data to complete, so just bear with me. Description. So I'm going to go cash deficit charged to employee, so it's clear. Deficit charged to employee, and I'll specify the amount, 25 reals. I just have to take the account here, which is the cash deficit employee account. It should be here somewhere. Yeah, I've got it. Just a moment. This one. 266. Cash deficit employee. And the branch is optional, so we'll leave that for now. So what we've got is a new spend money transaction for an example of a deficit charge to an employee. So we've got the direct payment, Mr. Ahmed Ali, hypothetical date, the reference is the shortage, the description is clear, we've specified everything there. Quantity, unit price, so we can proceed to save. Yeah, we can actually approve and save. And that was successfully saved. So that's two examples there. A deficit charged to the company and a deficit charged to the employee. Now, case two. As I mentioned at the beginning, this tutorial is about deficit and surplus. Case two is about surplus. So to explain this, the definition of surplus is when the actual cash is higher than the book balance. The reasons for that could be either forgetting to enter an order or sales return into the console. Okay. This surplus is processed through the accounting system by editing the point of sale transactions. So I'll show you an example of this now. So we will go over to accounts, down to sales, down to point of sales transactions. Okay, so what I've got to do is choose the invoice for the surplus, and I will go with the top one here, SP00058. Okay. So we are on the invoice here, and I've got to edit this now to generate the surplus data. So what I've got to do, I've got to go over to this top line here, over to options. So let's go options and edit. So what I've got to take into consideration here is to just check all the data first. So, okay. So, right, what I've got to do, I've got to go to unit price and edit this figure here. And I'm just going to go, I'm going to go hypothetical again. I'm going to edit this up to 1600. Okay, so let's just edit it manually. Okay. So I'm going to update this now. I'm just check over again. We've gone, yeah. Okay, let's update. Great. Okay, so what we can do now, we can actually drop down here to the make the payment function, and we'll do this. Okay, we're going to do this from, I'm going to stay with the cash account 260. So if you followed me there, you will see that I took invoice SP00058 by way of example, just to show you how the surplus function operates, and it operates by way of choosing options, which I did do. I chose edit, if you remember, and I edited this figure here up to 1600. So what I've got to do now is make this payment into the system, which is here, and that was successfully added. So that really winds up the deficit and surplus tutorial. There was quite a little bit of information there and data for you to follow, so I would encourage you to look back over this tutorial and familiarize yourself with the path that I took to access the relevant sections of the platform, which is through this margin here, and familiarize yourself with the process that I followed to display the deficit and surplus examples. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope it was an informative tutorial. I have enjoyed helping users to familiarize themselves with the Foodics platform, and I would just like to thank you for your attention, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Thank you. Goodbye.